What is presuppositionalism? Presuppositionalism says that only the God of the Bible makes sense of reason, morality, and the world itself. So every other view falls apart when you look closely.
Presuppositionalism, pioneered by Cornelius Van Til and developed by Greg Bahnsen and John Frame, begins with the transcendental necessity of the Christian worldview. Without the God of Scripture, there is no foundation for logic, uniformity of nature, or moral absolutes. It argues from the impossibility of the contrary. Every non-Christian system is ultimately incoherent and borrows capital from the Christian view. It denies Scripture is the starting point, not a conclusion reached by autonomous reason.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
In Him we live and move and have our being.
The natural person does not accept the things of the Spirit of God,
because they are spiritually discerned.
the only certain proof is the impossibility of the contrary.
Unbelieving thought uses reason to
Attack the source of reason upon analysis. All truth drives one to Christ.
The little girl sitting on her father's lap and playfully slapping his face can only slap him because he supports her.
Cornelius Van Til.
Van Til illustrated the point. With the little girl sitting on her father's lap and playfully slapping his face, she can only slap him because he supports her. Unbelieving thought uses reason to attack the source of reason. Bahnsen summarized, upon analysis all truth drives one to Christ. Presuppositional apologetics argues for the truth of Christianity from the impossibility of the contrary. The presuppositional method therefore does not begin by trying to prove God's existence on the unbeliever's terms. It begins by asking what must be true for knowledge, science, morality, and logic themselves to be possible. Only the triune God of Scripture supplies the necessary preconditions. An absolute personal mind who created a rational order, who upholds the uniformity of nature by His providence, and who grounds objective moral obligation in His own character. Every alternative worldview, whether materialistic atheism, pantheism, or postmodern relativism, ends up sawing off the branch on which it sits. The atheist who demands empirical evidence for God is already assuming the reliability of sense perception and inductive reasoning, assumptions that his own worldview cannot justify. The relativist who insists that all truth claims are culturally conditioned is making an absolute claim that undercuts his own position. This approach is especially potent against autonomous rationalism and against the soft relativism that dominates much contemporary discourse. It refuses to grant the unbeliever a neutral starting point, and therefore takes seriously the noetic effects of sin taught in Romans 1 and 1 Corinthians 2. Used pastorally, it does not merely stack evidences. It exposes the internal contradictions of unbelief and shows the hearer that he is already living on borrowed Christian capital. The goal is not intellectual humiliation, but a gracious demonstration that the very tools of thought the unbeliever is using belong to the God he denies. In the end, the argument drives the conversation back to the authority of Scripture and the necessity of regeneration by the Spirit, who alone opens the eyes of the heart. What is presuppositionalism? Presuppositionalism says that only the God of the Bible makes sense of reason, morality, and the world itself. So every other view falls apart when you look closely.